Welcome to the show, everyone. Behind the mic, you have me, Director Dish. In front of the mic, we've got Manos Koutsis.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
And we've got Will Holmes, everyone. So, hello, guys. How are you guys doing?
It's good.
Yeah, great. Oh, right. How are we doing?
Yeah, how are we doing?
I'm good. Great to be here. We got a great show lined up for you. We got special guests here, Ed Apeagye. Good to have you, Ed.
Thank you so much.
And,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. We're going to bring you the good news, right?
Yeah. This show's about positivity, we like
Exactly. We're all about the positivity, in a world of negativity. We're gonna find that positiveness and bring it out to you.
Have you guys had any positivity this morning? Did you have a nice positive breakfast, a positive sleep?
My girlfriend made me a lovely breakfast, like soaked some oats overnight, so a bit of chocolate on top, had a lovely coffee with it, little cuddle on the sofa before work.
Lovely.
Great morning.
Lovely. I also had a positive start to the day. I had run out of milk for my coffee, but luckily my flatmate bought milk, so I just stole some of hers. And what better start to the day? You need your coffee,
She's now got that on this show as recorded forever and ever. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But we do have some stories to talk about today. Positive news in the world, don't we?
Sure. Let's talk positive stories with Ed. Ed, what have you got for us?
It's been good. Life has been good. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was in Holland, and then I was in Germany, and so it's all positive.
Good.
What's going on?
Traveling the world?
Traveling, to see friends and family and stuff like that.
How do you guys know each other? Ed and Manos, you work together on something. Is that the...
Ed and I, we trained together, didn't we?
Yes.
Do you want to tell them a bit about what kind of training we did?
So we trained with the maestro called Sunrambler, called Method Acting School.
Cool.
And I started, and when I went, Manos was the senior pro, and learned a lot from him. So it was it.
And everything you learned was from me, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's all about the relationship, isn't it?
Yes, and the energy you bring to it, and also how you perceive your environment. So if it's a period piece, then you have to perceive your environment differently, and
If you know the circumstances of that period, it informs the way you act in that environment. So one example is if you're working on something from Victorian times, something I found out, like if you're at a party, and if you dance twice with the same partner, that's absolutely scandalous, right? So that changes it, because if you read a play like Miss Julie, she dances with the servant Jean quite a few times, and you just read that and you're like, so what? But if you know that in those times people are going to talk and it's going to be a huge scandal, then it just changes the whole meaning of it.
Exactly. And also with method is, I think people have misunderstand method. It's actually the research that you bring to it is what actually puts the skin on the onion to say. So it's you do a lot of research. You watch films, read books, read magazines. The things we've done for films is just unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
I remember I did a scene with Mimi, and she was playing a nun. And she had to go and speak to nuns and and all that kind of stuff. So
What scene was that? Doubt?
No, that was it's to do with a priest.
Moving on.
Thing is, the thing with method acting is that we hear that, a lot of people have the perception that method acting is, you lost weight, or you go out and you think you're the character all the time.
Yeah.
But real method is, you're not the character, but you have a methodology of how you appear to be the character. So, when Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver was driving around in a taxi, he never thought that he was a taxi driver. He was just doing it to get ideas.
Yes.
It's like research. It's like, if I'm a taxi driver, I'd be thinking about this, and then you just sort of discover your part that way.
I suppose it kind of seems a bit dumb that if you're going to play someone playing a taxi driver, that you wouldn't just drive around a taxi driver and see what it's like, you know? If the director says to you, like, some sort of action, you're going to be like, well, this is not what I would do, or like you're going to feel comfortable doing it if you agree with it. It makes sense.
It's like...
No,
Sorry.
I was going to say the thing is that once you do it, once people would go I know a friend of mine who was doing something in an American accent and put on an American accent and go to the shop and speak to people. But the thing is, once you engage with other people, that's when you recognize, oh, okay, so the character does this, or the character speaks this way, or so that's what you find out from doing these things.
So Ed, let's talk a little bit about, you've come a long way since we did class together, and you're on the hit show Unwanted. How did you get the role for that?
So Unwanted, 2021 auditioned for it, didn't hear from them for a long time, so I thought, I didn't get it, and then forgot about it, and then out of the blue, got a message saying, oh yes, the director wants you. It's directed by Oliver Heshbiegel.
Oh yeah, wow.
He did Fallout, he did Diana, really, really good.
I auditioned for Fallout, I think, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so then, got a job and went to Rome.
Amazing. How long were you in Rome for the shoot?
9 months. So
wow.
did 9-ish months in Rome, and then went on to do some filming in Senegal.
Okay. Oh wow.
The backstory of the character in Senegal. Came back to Rome to do so there's a scene where there's a drowning scene. So we came back to do the drowning scene in the open sea at night.
Amazing. This is what I wanted to ask you. So I haven't finished the whole season yet, but first of all, it's on Sky Atlantic.
For our lovely viewers, can you tell us what the show's about?
Do you want to tell everybody what the show's about, Ed?
Yeah, so it's called Unwanted, and it's about it's a group of migrants, on a boat from Africa, and then the boat starts to sink, or the boat sinks, and then luckily, there's a luxury ship going past, and they sort of, make a lot of noise. Hey, save us! Anyway, eventually these rich people save them. And then nobody wants them because Italy doesn't want them, Malta doesn't want them, Tunisia doesn't want them. So they decide, okay, we'll give them back to the Libyans. And then all hell breaks loose, so.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's a very apt, with the times we live in. And I gotta say, I watched it, and when you guys are in the sea sort of and you get onto the cruise ship, it seems like, your character and everybody, the migrants, they were having a terrible time. They were locked in close quarters. But when you were filming, did you guys have a good time on that ship?
We spent a month on the ship. We're docking Civitavecchia, and then on every Friday we'll move out and just go on sea and come back on Monday. That scene you're talking about was the most difficult scene to have filmed, because we filmed it in the night. So some of the scenes you're talking about, 3 a.m. in the morning in February, is cold. Ouch. And we're supposed to be in, supposed to be in summer clothes.
T-shirts and stuff, yeah.
So it's freezing.
Oh, dear.
When they pick us up, we get rescued, you sit in the boat, the rescue boat.
Oh wow.
And you sit, and it's touching, and you can feel the cold, and it's freezing, and yeah, it was a great experience, and actually
sounds amazing.
Well, they give you like hot coffees and hot chocolate, right?
If you haven't seen it, it really looks stunning. Like it's so. I was gripped. Really, great acting from you and everybody else in the show is really great.
It was the extras. So there are a few extras with us, and amongst the extras were actual people that did the journey.
Oh, yeah, wow. I've heard this. Yeah, I heard this. Yeah.
Actual, there was this Somalian guy who walked across the desert for 45 days.
Wow.
And so part of my research was to talk to these people, because in that scene, when we did that scene afterwards, I went back to everybody and I was like, "What was your favorite scene?" And everybody said, it's that scene. And so the guys that actually did the journey, I was like, why? And he says, because that's my story. That was real. So real. I mean, like, what really got to me is like, you don't understand how dark the sea is at night.
Yeah.
Till you're there and there's nothing. And then you imagine how these people, some people spend 3 days lost at sea. And you think there is nothing around with, it's just pure darkness, like insane. And then the sea is there and, you can feel everything bubbling. So yeah, that was
how far in were you? Like from the coast?
So one of the scenes, we went 4 miles, 4 miles in to film the scene on the boats, the smaller boats.
Wow.
So if you can imagine, and you can feel and it's at night, and like...
You'll hate to hear this, but did you know when they filmed the film Titanic, they filmed it, I think, in South America, so it was actually summertime, but they had to pretend that they were cold, right? Yeah. So, but you guys had it all. You probably didn't have to do much.
There's no pretense. I mean, there's a scene where we're drowning and the people are coming around and they're shouting, help, help, and there's a bit where you can see me taking in water.
Yeah.
It's real. Wow. I'm literally scared, I'm like holding on to, it was... And the thing is, so 4 a.m. in the morning, you're in the middle of the scene, nothing, and so anything that touches your leg, you're
Yeah, I'd be worried about sharks. I'd be thinking about Jaws.
And then somebody got stung jellyfish.
Oh yeah.
And then I also dislocated my shoulder in the last scene. Yeah. So I'm holding on to do 2 boats. So when they say action, I go in the water and then I get onto the boat. But before they could say action, this one tugs away.
Oh my God. So you do your own stunts?
I have to come out and, injection. No, so there's an ambulance just around the corner. Wow. Had an injection and then got back to do the last scene, so yeah.
This is the thing, people don't see what actors have to go through.
Yeah, literally, because we have to do the scene. It's the last scene, we have to finish it before.
But I bet it's worth having a dislocated shoulder for that shot.
For every single shot.
It's method acting, right?
That's what I'm saying. I was in there. This was really.
It was no longer acting after that.
No longer acting. Yeah. So listen, trust me. Once we got into the sea, it was no longer acting because you're scared. I mean, it's at night. It's cold.
Yeah.
And the director really wants the shot. So like, go in. I'm like, no, I'm staying here. My legs can touch the ground. This is where I'm staying.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And it's 1 season so far, yeah?
So it's 1 season so far. Fingers crossed we see what happens if they come back.
Cool. Well, it is a very good show. If you guys haven't seen it, I urge you to watch it. Unwanted on Sky Atlantic. You can see it on things like Now TV, I guess.
Now TV.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah, in America you can see it on Peacock.
Okay. Oh yeah. Do we get that over here as well?
Yes.
It's like with ads, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and so what do you got? You were saying you've got a show coming up, a live show.
So I have a play coming up in Barnes. There's a theatre in Barnes called Osso Theatre. And I'm doing a play called Red Water.
Okay. More water. Have you been cast, Ed?
The water guy.
Water way to go.
Yeah, I'm the water guy. Yeah. So it's a play during the Second World War, and it's like a horror film in a village in Cornwall somewhere where these people are getting hallucinations that the seas turn red.
Oh.
And it's coming right up to the, and when you fall in, you get these rushes, and so it's like a horror kind of thing.
Amazing. Horror on stage. I've never seen it actually.
Yeah.
I want to say.
I mean, this is the thing, like when I got the script, I'm reading the script and I'm like, these people must have money. There's going to be the Red Sea, and I'm like, okay, they must have money for.
It's like, have you seen Only Murders in the Building? Where he's like, it's Splash, the musical. And there's like swimming pools on stage. Well, how do you guys do that?
Well, I haven't seen how they're going to do it. Now we're
red
going
carpet,
through the
maybe,
lines.
red carpet,
yeah,
bit of
I imagine the audience will represent the sea and you can just kind of crowd surf.
Come in, let's see what they do. But we would know in about a couple of weeks once we start to block.
Okay.
Start blocking.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me know. I'm coming to see it for sure. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
What's your character?
So I play Dr. Nathaniel. So he's a doctor, and he came to this village, and he doesn't really believe in what these people talk about. So he's a very skeptical kind of character. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The realist. Sort
The
of.
realist. Yeah, for sure.
What sort of a doctor is he?
Old school. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't really believe in a lot of, he's very old school, very methodical, and yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what are you doing to research for the role? Talking to some doctors, or?
Well, my dad was a doctor. So,
oh, really? Okay. Oh, right.
Yeah.
So it's already there then.
Well, no. I mean, I would do some. I have started watching a lot of Second World War films in Bristol, and because this sort of happens in Cornwall, Bristol.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if it's Cornwall, Bristol, have you gone down into Cornwall and gone down to some of the small villages?
So that would be too much research. That's that over research.
Just call someone there,
Yeah. No.
YouTube video.
But I gotta say, you've got the presence of a doctor. Like if I'd broken my arm, I'd trust you. Casting me up. Let's say.
I'm hoping once we get the costume on, and he's supposed to be limping because he got injured in the First World War, so he's supposed to be limping. So that will be the challenge, to get the limping in and everything else.
And so, Ed, you told us about that you auditioned for Unwanted and you didn't hear back for a long time. Do you have any, interesting audition stories, like something that sort of stands out that was a bit different?
I did Gangs of London. Gangs of London. I'm in one episode. It's the first series, the first episode. So I'm hoping they call me back because I'm still alive.
Oh, you're one of the lucky guys.
and I played
Gangs of London, people, if you're listening,
everyone
get
dies.
Ed back on.
Please,
he needs to break some more bones.
Please, and I really mean that.
That was your audition there. Perfect.
Yeah, give him the role.
I feel a little chilly after that.
It is scary, yeah.
And how are you finding the industry? Is it good? Is it a good time? How's things? Because obviously we had the writers' strike. We got a lot of bad things happening over the last few years.
I mean, to be honest, the industry's gone really quiet right at this moment, and it's because we had the strike, and then once the strike was done, then it was all the backlog films to be filmed, and so we don't know what's happening now. But people are writing. I'm also writing with a writer from France. We're writing. We were almost done with the first draft, and so it's writing and producing and shooting your own stuff really whilst you're waiting.
I'm quite positive about there's a nice bunch of stories coming out from loads of different places. You're getting, I like to think, equality, diversity, a lot more inclusion going on. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's getting better? Or
I think it's getting better. I mean, if you look at Gangs of London, the main actors are black actors. I mean, that in a few years ago would have been unthinkable. So I think the diversity is getting there. But for me, it has to be the broader diversity. So not just the actors, the cameraman. I remember doing Tarzan, which was my first film.
Yeah.
Over 200, 300 crew, and there was only just one black guy.
Oh, wow.
In the crew, and this is all the actors and everyone else is black, So I think that's where once we start to get that change, I did Tenant.
Oh yeah.
And Tenant was the first time
You're in Tenant?
Yeah.
I saw it a year or two ago.
So there's the scene in the kitchen. I'm one of the chefs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the scene in the kitchen, he comes in and does
the thing.
Yeah, so, and that was the first time I saw a DOP that was black,
Right, yeah.
And so,
Nice.
Yeah.
And talking about the diversity thing, I think we're continuing to tick all the diversity boxes, and more and more people are involved. But I just got to say, we need some more Greeks in these films. particularly Greek Canadians. I mean, we got Zach Galifianakis, and that's
Have
about
you seen
right?
my Greek fat wedding?
Yeah, but I was a kid. They didn't give me a role there.
They could have followed it up, couldn't they? My big fat Greek family.
We were talking about the other day. We interviewed Angelo Tsarouchas. He's a Greek Canadian. Well, he's a Greek Canadian, but he lives in America. Comedian, and he's doing his world tour. We're going to show you like a clip from that. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Let's just show the clip. Let's just show the clip.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us.
That's
really
pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
So you got your show tomorrow. What's it called?
It's called Skits and Wits.
Okay.
And this is the European version of it. We did it in Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand.
Perfect.
And now it's coming to, and this is the kickoff in Europe. So we started in London.
Yeah.
And it's going through about 8 or 9 countries, going to Greece, going to Cyprus, all those places. So
nice. So tell us a little bit about your comedy. Like, how did you get started in comedy?
Well, I listened to my friend's older brother had comedy albums. I was going to throw them out. And I'm going way back. I'm listening to Mort Saul, Bill Cosby, Red Fox, Jackie Mason. And then later on, of course, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, all these classic guys, Rodney Dangerfield, Sam Kinison. And I would listen to these guys doing stand-up and how empowering it was to be able to go into a room and make people laugh.
Yeah.
With words.
Yeah. Right.
And describing things in stories. And I got hooked on it. And many years ago in Ottawa, Canada, there was a variety show called V6. And my friends were in the band. My friend said, Ange, you're always quoting comedy and stuff. Why don't you do like 6-7 minute skit? And I did a skit, and I did some of Rodney Dangerfield's jokes, and I wrote some of my own jokes for the school. And the needle got stuck in my arm, and I've been doing it pretty much ever since.
So funny you should say Rodney Dangerfield, because I often steal some of his jokes.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is, a lot of the young comedians, they don't actually know his jokes.
They don't know.
But I only steal them when I'm doing crowd work. Like one of my favorite ones is, I told my therapist I have suicidal tendency. She says, listen to me very carefully. From now on, I want you to pay me in advance.
Pay me in advance.
Which ones do you remember?
Oh, I remember, my wife said, take out the garbage. Said, you cook it, you take it out. I got in a taxi. I said, take me back to a place for some action. He took me back to my place. Who told you could screw my wife? He said, everybody.
Genius.
I mean, he was just so fast.
I heard another one the other day is I went to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting and they gave me 3-1. It's just so good.
He just had, we bought a new water bed. I like to call it the Dead Sea. All those Rodneyisms.
Yeah. He was so
brilliant guy. And he did a lot for comedy. He helped a lot of comedians. There was HBO comedy special, and a lot of these comedians you see today, like Jay Leno and Tim Allen and so many other great comics came through that young comedian special.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. He's such a legend.
Really is.
Who do you, look up to from the comics today, let's see, or...
Well, my best friend is Russell Peters, and I've seen his career grow like amazingly, internationally, such a huge comic.
Yeah.
And I like, there are guys, there's Brian, there's one comic in LA. He was on the Netflix documentary, Brian, not Gallagher, what's his name?
Monarch?
Not Monarch, you're close. I can't remember his...
he does the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, there's a lot of great comics, that you watch.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to work with most of those guys, and it's good. I mean, I like, if I get a chance, I'll watch them. I even like Will Ferrell, so silly. He does funny stuff, I watched Zoolander again. How can you not laugh at that?
Yeah, that was
How
brilliant.
do you expect those people to live in such a tiny little house?
Yeah.
I mean, I love when they take the piss out of stereotypes. Zoolander, Tropic Thunder. I love those kind of movies because it's like, gives you a chance to laugh at this stuff.
Just wanted to ask a bit more personal question. Do you ever fear that you're not funny?
I think every comic does.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think every comic does. I think I told you earlier, if you go on stage thinking, I got this, that's usually when you eat the biggest
Right.
So I think every comic, I always think, are they going to laugh again?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you have that in your head. I'm like, I'm going here to here, and I got these stories, and there's really no sense of knowing if it's going to work or not. The only way you're going to know if it works is if you get on stage.
Yeah.
And you have a sense of packaging. You can package it, but you still got to put the goods in the package.
And you know what I think is interesting as well is that with AI now, AI still can't write good jokes. So that's comforting for comedians.
It is, but AI scared me with one thing.
Yeah.
They put all the, George Carlin stuff in, and AI made a 1 hour special
I saw
of it.
that, yeah.
And you're watching it going,
yeah.
you couldn't tell if it was or wasn't. So that's
It was
kinda
more
scary.
the tone though that
Right.
was, spot on. But
I need a place for my stuff,
Yeah.
but still.
yeah.
I mean, and this is the entry. We're just getting into the entry of AI. Are they tune this thing up? Are they going to be able to you're going to throw stuff in and it's going to take your likeness and then just blend it. It's going to make you like a frappuccino. We're just going to put the ingredients in it and then let it spin by itself, and then there you go.
Let's just kill it, please.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of it. Finally, here's the classic cliche question. What advice would you give to someone who wants to get into comedy?
Here's the best advice someone told me, and I learned a long time ago. Get on stage as much as you can anywhere. Comedy club, open mic night. If a friend's in a band or something, ask if you can go on and do 5 minutes before them.
Okay.
And on your, we have these little things called iPhones and Androids.
Yeah.
There's a little note section.
Yeah.
If you get an idea, don't be like me where I forget. Just jot it down.
Right.
Because then later on, you're like, oh, shit, I had that idea. What was it?
Yeah.
It was funny, and I forgot about it. But you can only get better the more times you get on stage.
Yeah.
The more you get on stage, the better you're going to get. It's like exercising. You really, that, in my opinion, that's the best way. Get on stage, get on stage. And I know it's difficult because a lot of people want to do it. If you can't get on the traditional way, find other ways to do it, because there are other ways to get on stage.
True.
The
world's a stage.
The world's
you just
a
go on the
stage.
street, I guess, right? Like, even if you just do it in front of 2-3 friends, maybe.
Doesn't matter. Just go do it, at a party, whatever, house party. Put on your own shows if you have to, if you're passionate enough about it. But that's, to me, you can write, but as a comedian, you need to get on stage to know, to get the interaction, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. It allows you to feel the audience, and then you're editing as you're doing the joke. When you get off stage, you'll say, I should have moved this there and that over here. It's just, that's what comics. A comic's routine is never finished.
Right.
Never. Because even I work with Bill Burr.
Oh, yeah.
And John Farrell with Vince Vaughn. I was on the Vince Vaughn Wild West comedy tour. Wow. And I watched Bill Burr, who's a master. He came off, he goes, I didn't like, everybody's laughing and clapping.
Oh, no.
And Bill Burr's like, I didn't like that. Remember that one joke? I have to move that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
There could be 5,000 people laughing. All we see is the one that's not laughing.
Yeah.
How come this person's not laughing?
I just wish comedians could enjoy themselves more.
Yeah, it's
so much joy they bring to the audience.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's like, it's so
torture.
It's like a torture. Like, I could tell you I'm tired. I flew in from LA. I'm this, I'm that. And I get on stage. Hey, how's it going? So, but I think we're also tortured.
Yeah.
But it's like we're masochists. We love the punishment. The idea that it's also a thing that we don't know if it's going to work. So it's almost like trying a new drug every time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, fuck, I went up there. I screwed it up.
Yeah.
Or they laugh at the setup. And you're like, they're laughing at this. So I'll tell people, I went to a fitness gym.
Yeah.
And they're laughing.
Yeah.
I go, what?
Yeah.
Because they've already painted the picture.
Yeah.
You're at a fitness gym. Why?
Yeah.
I go, I haven't finished yet. You know, I said, I want to use your bathroom. Or so, you put the tag on afterwards. You get at it. But sometimes the audience helps you write the joke.
True.
You know, it helps you write the joke. So you got to go with it.
Well, thank you again, Angelo, so much for coming on. And we wish you all the best of luck with your tour, and hope you keep bringing great comedy to us around the world.
Lovely. That was a great interview. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I mean, he's as funny, off stage,
Yeah, how was his live show? You went to see that?
I went to see it. I got to tell you, it was hilarious. I have not laughed in such a long time. Like, really, really, like, true comedian. He just comes out, and it's funny because you can't really say sometimes that you're laughing because it's a punchline. It's just the way he delivers things, the way he talks. It's just like he just comes out. You feel like you're having a conversation, and definitely go and see him wherever he is in the world. He's touring all over the world. Angelo Tsarouchas.
He's worked with some amazing. He's done acting as well. So he's been in stuff with Colin Farrell.
Yeah, actually, talking about taxi drivers, he told us a really cool story where he was in The Recruit. And he was the taxi driver, and Colin Farrell gets in the back. If you've seen the Recruit, So he's done loads of stuff, and he's just a really great, artistic mind comedian.
What are you guys comedy stuff? I mean, like, are you guys getting into your TikToks and stuff like that? What's are you seeing any?
The way you say it about TikTok, it's like I watch loads of comedy on TikTok, but it's kind of just like you're like, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny. And you're kind of like...
My mom posted something funny the other day. The cat just jumped on the table and started eating all the food.
But we were talking with Angelo, weren't that's the new star. So obviously there's stand-up comedians, there's comedy actors, but now you've got these young people doing like skits on TikTok, doing dances, they're actually doing bits where they dub in stand-up sets and they repeat them, become different characters and stuff like that. What do you think about that? What do you think? Is that the future? What's that?
There's a lot of creativity, and I think that social media platforms has given actors a lot of outlet to sort of show your work. And there's a lot of things that you see people doing, and you think, oh wow, But it's different from acting, I would say.
Do you think some people actually, because I've seen some social media stars get onto the big screen via TikTok and things like that. There's, I will have to look up his name, but there's this actor.
That's how famous he is. You can't remember his name.
Yeah, but he's this guy. I've seen him in a lot of recent productions, even
that guy who did the thing.
I will find him.
Go find him.
This guy.
Your producer, go find him.
I'll tell you what I saw the other day. I don't go on TikTok that often, but I kind of got it because I was in a video once that was on TikTok. And people kept saying, I saw you in a TikTok video.
Okay.
And I did, because I did something on BBC. We did comic relief.
Right.
I did a sketch.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was like for Stranger Things. And then people kept telling me on the street, they were like, you're the guy on TikTok. And I'm like, what? And then I finally found it, and like 10 million people had seen it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's way more than how many maybe saw it on TV. I don't know, but probably maybe.
It's a useful thing as well. Sorry.
So your question originally was like, is TikTok the future? And I think what's kind of more exciting is that we don't know. Like, if you look at obviously the history of, let's just keep comedy as kind of to narrow it down a little bit. Comedy obviously is in plays, then goes to radios in the 1900s, then kind of goes to TV 70 years ago, and yet in the last 20 years...
The Greeks came up with it in the first place, right?
Greeks. TikTok? We did. The philosophers knew TikTok was possible. They were like, this is possible. We just don't have the means to do it.
Greek comedy is big.
Yeah, comedy. As Angela was reminding us, Aristophanes says, comedy is tragedy plus time. Meaning when you allow time for the tragedy to pass, it can be funny.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I think it is, because when you.
And it's like, the thing I was trying to say is like, that basically in the last like 10 years, we've kind of seen in only 10 years, comedy shift from say like a platform like TV to more online like YouTube. And I feel like TikTok is now taking it from YouTube. Not that YouTube is not doing badly at all. And so the idea that in 10 years time, like who knows, man, we could have virtual reality, which could be insane.
Yeah.
Like Ed, do you worry that there's not? Oh, I mean, like, and there's AI as well. But are you worried about your career in terms of like? Do you think drama? Or how do you think people?
I still think that I was saying TikTok and a lot of people do skits and you think, oh wow, but when it comes to acting, it's always different. When behind the camera, when that camera goes on, it's a different sort of pressure. So I think acting will still be. It won't be replaced by AI. They did try. They did try to write scripts with AI, and it didn't work. I've tried writing scripts with ChatGPT. It doesn't make sense.
I heard that it's getting better. Have you guys tried? I mean, like, when was like?
So this is the thing. ChatGPT right now has the brain capacity of a ferret. When it gets to the brain capacity of a monkey, then we're in trouble.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
And it's in its infancy. It's keep
oh
developing,
yeah. And the thing is that everything that we put onto social media is fed into the machine.
And I gotta say, because I do stand-up comedy as well, and I played around with ChatGPT and asked it to write me jokes. And
No, you didn't.
I did. And I gotta say, thankfully, it's really bad at writing jokes at the moment. Like, the ChatGPT jokes make dad jokes look like comic gold.
But you know what? It will be awesome to do a show where you've just taken ChatGPT jokes and you try to
maybe you could do it.
I think it's a good idea.
Do that.
Be a
Go
real
ahead.
challenge.
Make fun.
Well, I'm not. He's the one that does.
I'll try it out. Actually, I'm looking for more material.
You should just get like 10 lines and just, and then you tell the audience, this is
Yeah.
I think like the thing that's really interesting about that is like if ChatGPT gets to a point where it can tell really good jokes, and it probably will get to that point, for better or for worse, but like part of a comedian is being a comedian. Like, it's having that personality, it's having that flair. Like, you can take the joke out of the comedian, but it's no way near as good as when the comedian
The reason
says
why I reckon it won't be able to do it is because when you're writing, you become alive and you're writing with emotions and you're receiving all these, thoughts, processes, and that's what machines can't do. So
it's the personality, basically.
There you go.
It's the life.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on humans at the end of the day. I think if in the future, if everyone is like desensitized from themselves and they're fine watching a robot, fine. But I think we want to go to the theater. We want to go to live shows. I don't want to watch a movie with a robot. I want a real person.
I mean,
You watch animations though, right? Guys, you watch animation.
But they have the voice behind it.
Yeah.
You got actors who are putting their voice.
No, they can do the voice.
They can do voices.
Yeah,
They can
but
do
can't
voices
you
now.
tell, Dish? You said you can tell the difference between
yes,
AI
you can.
voice.
Yes, you can.
I think it's like you can get the basic stuff, but the new stuff is getting frighteningly.
I mean,
good.
so when we speak, there's all this intonation and it's communicating with you, and I think that's what AI can't do yet, because it's just like a monotonous kind of thing. And afterwards, you're like, switch.
Mark Zuckerberg's working on it. Though.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating at the same time as scary. But like, you'll be able to go in the VR world, and they want to replicate like the minutest movements of your face, which communicate emotion.
Yeah.
So
I mean. Yeah, so sorry to cut you off. This is why the strike went on for a long time.
That's right, because they were worried that people were giving their images for AI to copy.
Yeah, and then they didn't want to pay actors, which was just uncalled for. But we won. So.
Yeah, we spoke up, and there's a sci-fi series as well, The Foundation. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Apple. And I think it's originally a book, but it takes place like way in the future, and they've banned AI. Like, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
And I won't tell you any more about it. You should see it. It's such a great sci-fi series. But the fact that they thought then when they wrote the book that in the future we're going to have to ban AI because they'll, maybe take over.
Yeah.
And, I do think something like that will have to happen with us. We'll have to kind of.
I think that we have to have a conversation because you see, this is the thing that once it moves into the military sort of section, we're in trouble.
Oh, it's gonna go in the military sector because there is the positive spin, like you were saying about voice acting, and yeah, that's a terrible idea. But at the same time, if there's a show in another language at the moment, it takes a lot of money to bring it into English to give it to a wider audience, or even take it from English to a very more obscure kind of language. And AI is going to be able to do that, and it's going to allow people to share culture and ideas. Oh, yeah. And there's, we're not even touching on medical, but we can always. There's definitely concerns about AI, but there's so many positives.
Oh yeah. I read they put in a few phrases in Bangladesh, and it was able to start translating, the language. So
it's way better than Google Translate, I gotta say. Sorry, Google Translate, but if I want to translate something, I put it in ChatGPT. It gives you brilliant translation.
Oh, right. Okay.
Whereas
I've never used it for translation.
It's great, yeah. Because then whenever I meet someone who can't speak English, I just whip out ChatGPT and
Teach us some Greek.
What would you like to know?
I would like to know. I don't know. I should have thought of this. Hey, how's it going?
Γεια σας, τι κάνετε? Πώς πάει?
Γεια σας.
Πώς πάει?
Post pie.
You have to remember he's speaking Greek in a Canadian accent. So
that's true.
Okay,
it's probably really far from.
Wait, I'll do it in a Greek accent. Yes, σας, πώς πάει?
There you go.
Post pie. That's cool. That's good. This should be an educational show as well. I think that's.
Talking about accents, didn't you have something to say about this guy?
That's right. Yeah. So this is what actually here. Before I even do this, I'm going to do this experiment. Have you guys brought your phones?
Yeah.
Phones, right. Here's an experiment.
On airplane.
I'm going to have to turn it on because I'm a good boy and I turned it on.
Okay. Oh no, it's good. Right. What's on your For You page? I'd like to know what people are getting because this is where I want to know about the algorithm. Right? Is how different people get different things. Now. So
that's personal. I blushed to tell you what's on there.
Obviously, if it's family friendly, you can tell me about it. All right, I'm gonna.
So what do you do?
So if you go onto your TikTok, keep the sound down.
I don't think this is a family friendly.
You go to I don't have TikTok on my phone, so.
Or Twitter or whatever social media you go for.
You want adverts?
I'm gonna go for TikTok because I do actually have it, even though I barely use it.
I'm going to TikTok and I'm getting an.
Here we go. I've got an advert to have a Hollywood smile.
I'm getting one for.
Because I need to see. I was just talking the other day. I need to go to the dentist because
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting a sushi restaurant. I won't mention who they are because we might get sued. But I'm getting a sushi restaurant. So
I've got my friend singing a song. So
you got a friend singing a song.
I don't know what they. So
if you went on to
mine, no, I'm on there. Mine says, "Why combine your pension with Royal London?" I mean,
and
I am disappointed in this one. You think I'm old?
So that's just, it's really weird that what they're doing, how they get people, what is different from me to you and stuff, and how it's affecting everything from politics to the way, people.
But also they're spoiling us because they're giving us what we want or don't want, but what they think we want.
I think that there's this theory. So I work in TV a lot, and the old school way of thinking about a TV is you got this big box in your room, you press the remote control, you watch something. If you don't like it, you press it again, you watch something else, press it again, you watch something else. Now with TikTok, it's just doing that for you. So you're not, you can watch it anywhere. It's just whatever it's just a stream, a relentless stream. And obviously people spend a lot of time on it, but I think that's just this thing. And it not only does it know what you like, and give you more of the stuff. It's basically just it's that evolution of TV. I think I don't know.
The end of the remote control.
It's the end of the remote control. Yeah,
and it's on like our phones are the size of a remote control, smaller than some of them.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah, but that's I don't know if you guys feel is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing that people know what you like or don't like? I mean, like obviously they know you want pensions or something.
Well, how do they know? It's
Yeah.
like, am I too old?
Have you been looking for pensions?
Never. I mean, but this is the thing. To some extent, it's good, but also we have to think that now the algorithm are not actually they're telling you what to think, and that's where we're slipping into the manipulation. And then we have to also be careful because big businesses are in for profit, and therefore these products are not really for our good. It's all to make profit and to manipulate us. So
maybe and even with politics. I mean, I promised us not to go down any pessimistic stuff.
Yet
but
here we are.
But I mean, some people are voting because of the stuff that they see as well. So which actually goes back to the unwanted thing as well, because like so many people are really upset about the immigration situation and all that stuff.
Yes.
Did you get any positive vibes out of positive stories about the people that you worked with, even like like you said, the actual.
Yeah, I mean, so you see these people and they tell you all these stories, but then you look at their present story where they've come and they've integrated and going to school or improved their lives, and I think that's what's about. I mean, a lot of these people, and this is the thing. Like I remember when we went to Senegal, and so from the capital to where we're filming, it's a journey that should take an hour. It took us 5 hours, and then when you got there, and I remember we're going on the set one day and I'm looking around and you could understand why people would leave because there was nothing. And the desert is approaching, so it's really dry, very dusty, and there was nothing. And I just remember seeing two guys, really young guys, sitting there, desolate, nothing amongst them, and they're talking. And it got to me that, what are they talking about? They might be looking around and saying, there's nothing here for us. We should leave. So yeah, that's what I took from it.
I think my kind of comment on this is 9 years ago I went to the Calais jungle because I'm being from the southeast, and I thought I just went there for a few days because I was like, I can just go here and check it out and like talk to people, and like obviously you hear in the news media a lot of negative kind of stuff, but when you were chatting to these people and you're like, what were you doing back where you're from? They're all like doctors, engineers, like
there is
really
a bit
good
of a joke,
chefs.
isn't it? You see a bit of a joke going, they're not all doctors and engineers.
They're not, but it's like, a lot of them are. Like a lot of them are, and it's like a lot of these places and people are leaving them. The smart people are leaving them because they see there's no opportunity, or they see there's a war, or they see there's a famine coming. So like,
you see, that's what the media doesn't tell you. A lot of these journeys, cost a lot. People, for instance, they make it across the desert and then you make it to Libya. And then literally you have to be a slave to get enough money to pay for your journey across the sea. So, and a lot of these people pay a lot of money, £10,000 to cross the channel. You must have money. So these are the people that have got money
to start with, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Are the ones that are able to leave, and the ones that don't have money are actually back home and
That's definitely more than it costs to take a cruise.
Oh yeah,
ironically enough.
Exactly. But this is the thing also. Western and richer countries have to make it easier for people to be able to travel. I mean, yeah.
But talking about, I just had some more good news pop up here, because we were talking about acting and method acting, but confirmed Daniel Day-Lewis officially ends retirement from acting. Yeah. He's coming back and he's going to play the role of a retired cop.
So he's
Bad
a
joke.
retired guy plays a retired.
The joke was supposed to be he retired to read.
You get it?
I
sounded better in my head.
That took a while. It was fun.
Really.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good news. And yeah, you were talking about this guy. So accents. I was talking about accents because
accents, right.
you are working on a play and you have to do a British accent. I was looking at my social media feed and I don't know why I got it. I got this guy who looks like he's from an East Asian background and he's got this amazing Irish country accent. Don't know if you've seen this on your TikTok. Again.
Can we show the clip?
Just me. Yeah, let's have a quick show of the clip.
So tell us your name and where you're from yourself.
Owen Lynch from Mitchtown, Cork, Munster.
And how is the ploughing going for you today?
Savage year, bet all out. We're enjoying it now. There's a lot of various styles around the place, so it's good now. We're going to go now. So.
And I suppose anything in particular you have an interest in at the ploughing? Or?
Slurry. Jez, I love the slurry gear. A lot of slurry. I just think about slurry. I eat slurry and dream about slurry. That's my motto now. So.
And so this guy is basically the magic of TV editing, guys. What are you laughing at? Okay, so this guy has got a thick Irish accent, and everyone's like, "Wow, this is amazing. This is cool." Obviously, because they're saying, a guy who looks like that doesn't have that accent and stuff. So I guess the internet is going crazy over this guy.
Wait till you go to Jamaica and you see Chinese people speaking with Jamaican accent.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And like you're doing some accents. You're doing the British accent. Show us.
Oh, I feel kind of nervous, but
it's all right. I've got the British accent down, so I can judge.
But why on earth didn't you mention your sister's tragedy before?
It's not bad, actually.
We're doing a period.
It's good, man.
I'm gonna tone it down a bit, but for the beginning, it's important to have it, it, and then you can relax it a bit. But.
It's jokes though, because like my nan is rest for soul and she would not like me saying this, but hey, she's born in the Bell Chimes St Paul. She's a proper Cockney. She's from East London. And yet when she was younger, she took pronunciation lessons. Her parents didn't make her. She wanted to because she wanted to speak better. So people did talk like that, and it was an important thing to try and be proper.
Can we hear you talk like that? Like really overdo it.
I feel like it's something that I don't do because it sounds like I've got loads of money and hate poor people.
Oh my God, you're so arrogant.
What are the other ones? Can you do? Ed, what can you do?
I'm not good at accent at all, but I can
do an American accent, right?
Well, I can do a bit of Liverpool. You alright, mate? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You alright, kiddo?
They love it in Liverpool when you do their accent, and they absolutely love it.
One Scottish one, where there's been a mudder. A mudder. That's the only one I can do.
I think Scotland's really hard to get down.
Yeah.
I do French in one of the shows I do. I actually do Allo tribute shows.
Okay.
You know Allo? Yeah.
For people who don't know, what is Allo?
Allo is an old BBC show
about World War II.
It's
a comedy about World War II.
It's a comedy that takes place during World War II.
One of the funniest wars we've ever had.
Yeah. It sort of tried to bring light on it, and it's funny.
Crazy. It is really crazy because obviously I'm quite old and I remember it, but it's just really crazy.
What, you remember the second? What, you're that old? Mate, what skin products are you using? You look great.
But I remember the show Allo, and like they just don't. They won't make shows like that. It's got like funny Nazis and funny. People funny French resistance.
Lots of sausage jokes, basically.
Nice.
It's innuendos.
I think you can do like funny as long as you're making fun of the Nazis, which I feel like everyone's doing. You can do funny Nazi.
Yeah.
Like that. Speaking truth to power and ripping into them is all right.
They won't,
I wonder who we'll be making fun of in the future.
Probably still the Nazis.
The computers, maybe the AI. Will be like, and then the AIs will be like, "Stop making jokes about us, or we'll destroy you all."
That's not funny.
Terminator 2 is just gonna like wipe us all out because they're not amused by us. So that was on my feed, which is a big thing about accents. But I
saw that video you're talking about, and I understood everything he said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he sent it to me and said, "This is going viral," and I was like, "It's just a guy talking, and he's from Ireland." Like,
I love the Irish accent. I
Yeah.
just think it's,
acting coaches are, worth their weight in gold for that. There are some crazy ones. I've been watching The Boys recently with oh man,
yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Family friendly show.
Yeah, it's not a family friendly show, but
yeah.
he doesn't do the greatest British accent. Oh man.
Oh yeah, but I don't care. See, that's the great thing about American productions is they allow English actors to have average American actors, right? And American actors to have terrible English and Irish accents. I mean, and you just don't care because it's like whatever. It's just a movie, right? Like you do the best you can.
I heard that there were. I mean, like there's loads of people. Even people were getting upset about. Some people were saying Black Panther's accent because like there were loads of American, sort of African American actors, great actors doing, and British actors doing it, but they do this generic. African
That's what I'm saying.
accent as
Well.
well.
It's always annoying because I'm thinking I can do better, but it's always it's always funny when you hear Americans doing an African accent because they sort of they have a mixture of East African and Nigerian, and that's what they can sort of pin it, but the accent between Africa is so different,
so vast,
and
right?
I mean South African accent and Kenyan, West African, even in West Africa, Ghanaian accent and Nigerian accent is different.
Right.
When I did Unwanted,
Yeah.
so I'm a taxi driver.
So your character was from
Nigeria. So it's Nigerian accent. I swear to you, in one of the scenes, and I'm really hyped up, and and you could just see it started in Nigerian accent, and by the end of the scene, I'm almost British accent.
It happens. It gets away from you.
But this is the thing.
It?
That was the scene. That was the one that looked really good, and they still had to use it. So yeah.
I'll tell you what though. I've been doing the accent classes, right? And my voice coach, she's very pleased with how well I'm progressing, and she says, "You're doing very well. I think when we're finished, you'll be able to get a role playing an English person in some American supernatural series." I'm like, great.
Yep.
That's but that's how it is. It's tough, but we try the best we can,
Okay, cool. All right, so we're getting to the end of the show now, guys. We've done,
wow, time
done a
is
good stint.
Yeah.
Anything else positive to talk about before we close up?
A bit of positive news in the UK and London. Unfortunately, we don't have any this week. Nothing really positive.
Well, the
happened.
weather hasn't brought any positive.
Unless the rain is a positive thing for you.
It makes flowers grow, man.
But I read a great article. Let's go to Norway. I read a great article that Norway is now 98.9, I believe, renewable energy efficient.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have more electric cars now, than diesel cars being sold.
Right.
So
Incredible. And so for the 1,000 people that live in Norway, that's absolutely great.
But on a positive note as well, I think that most countries should look at what Norway is doing in terms of how they share the national wealth. Because if most countries did, we will live in a better place. And Qatar is also another country that really.
I know. To be fair, with renewable energy and climate change, people. Even in this country, I know the data from 2022, so if you know the more modern data, it's something like 26 or 27% is just generated from wind energy. We're huge, and that's gone up since 2022. We will probably get to in the next 10 years, 35, maybe 40% wind energy, which is...
No, but the thing is that there is a technology, it's just that now big businesses are buying those technology and locking them up, so...
But the businesses are doing that, but also where particularly China have got behind renewable energy.
Yes.
And China's, the EV market is huge. Solar panels are just rocketing down. The power to buy the wind turbines, rocketing down. And we are going to see a lot more. And now we've seen China get involved. Most nations move to producing renewables. We are going to see this happen a lot faster. There is quite positive.
Well, take it this way, if global warming goes up, we just go for a nuclear winter. Cool it down a bit.
One or the other, basically. Get one.
Okay, on that really, really happy upbeat note.
That's the good news, isn't it?
We don't need to go on holiday. We can
Let's
just chill out.
end with a bombshell.
Ed, it's been amazing talking to you.
Thank you guys so
Thank you so
much.
much for coming
the
on,
energy
Ed.
is
Yeah.
absolutely
Good
amazing.
luck with your red water.
Red Water.
Red water, that's coming out soon. So,
Yes,
yeah.
from the 28th to the 1st of November. 28th of October to 1st of November
in Barnes, London.
Oxo Theatre.
Brilliant. We'll look
We'll
out
be
for
there.
that. Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me. This
No
is
worries.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to talk to you. And yeah.
And this show was brought to you by our amazing sponsor, Praxis Events, DJ Live Entertainment. Go check them out on their Facebook page because they're lovely people. Lovely DJs, lovely live music. DJ Live is an experience you won't believe. And I genuinely mean that. Until next time, guys, keep it locked. See you soon. Bye.
All right.